Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video, and today we are going to be doing a video on another event idea. This one is of course my spin-off showcase event idea. So obviously it's based off the spin-off showcase episode. I've seen other people touch on this episode before and call it, do a major event, or some have done a mini event for this episode before, but I really wanted to try and stretch this out to a major event. But also, obviously there's only 3 segments, so I had to kind of focus more on one as opposed to the others. I was trying my best to look for something similar, like another segment that you could kind of maybe pass off as a spin-off, I was thinking like doing something with Flanders, with the Adventures of Flanders, and maybe throwing in some Flanders family, but I think it was a bit too loose, so I've just sort of taken the Chief Wiggum's one, and I've kind of just extended on that a little bit more. So let's get into it. So Homer tells Lisa that Tapped Out has really reached his... Also, by the way, this whole event is like really meta. So Homer tells Lisa that Tapped Out has really reached its peak. The glory days are over, and now they're just keeping it afloat with shady gills deals and overpriced mystery boxes. Lisa suggests maybe they hand over the reign of protagonist to another character instead. Homer likes that idea, so he makes Skinner and or you probably make Homer and Lisa give up their protagonist status. And the splash screen, I think, like, I don't normally talk about the splash screen, but I think what could be really cool is the splash screen has like Wiggum, Moe, Skinner, and fake Lisa running away from the Sky Finger, just so I don't want Homer in the image. I think that would make it a bit more unique. And then in terms of event currency, we got Sailor Hats for Act 1, Lobster Claws for Act 2, for Act 3 we've got Love Tokens, and then for Act 4 we've got Cancelled stickers. So yeah, let's get into it. So Super Premium is going to be John Winslow for $8.99 or pounds. Now you might be saying, who the hell is this guy? Well, obviously Troy McClure cannot be added, and I don't think there's a point adding him to my event idea, even though it is just an idea and it's just for fun. There's no point adding Troy McClure because it's quite obvious he's not going to be added. So I think instead of having Troy McClure kind of be that person, that overarching man behind the screen, I think we could use this John Winslow guy who appears in the episode. Obviously, Troy asks him for his like expert advice. He's like a TV curator. So I wanted him to kind of lead the event somewhat, or at least be heavily involved in the quest line. Maybe not so lead the event, but he's heavily involved in the quest line. But then I didn't know where to put him. No place really made sense, so I ended up just putting him as Super Premium, which is a bit crappy, I know, but you'll see when I kind of get into it. I just couldn't find a place to put him. It just didn't. Wherever I put him, it sort of broke the sort of the flow of an event. So he's gone here, which is a bit annoying, but whatever. If it was my choice and if it was something Tapped Out would do, I would just add him like at the start of the event, so you just unlock him as a character. But they don't do that anymore, so. Anyway, Act 1 is Skinny Boy Skinner with P.I. Wiggum's office for 150 donuts. So here's the office here. You can kind of see it for the most part. Obviously, just build it up a little bit. Maybe you could have like a little glass window as well that says P.I. Wiggum. And yeah, you get Skinny Boy Skinner as a costume for Skinner. This is not going to be a separate character. It's going to be a costume, but yeah, it doesn't look too amazing as a costume for Skinner, but it's going to have some cool animations, so yeah. So I've gone like really low on this quest line, so excuse me for basically having a bare bones quest lines. But Wiggum and Skinner asks John what would be the best the best show to do. That should be. They're dealing with a building tycoon game set in Springfield, so how are they going to be able to change this? John suggests an exotic relocation and maybe a new theme. Wiggum thinks New Orleans, and let's be a pair of PIs trying to take down criminals. So yeah, you do some tasks and you unlock the new Welcome to New Orleans sign. Wiggum tells Apu to revamp the Quickie Mark. He ushers the celebs in town to play jazz, and he says his police car needs an upgrade if we're going to pretend that this is New Orleans. Skinner agrees, and he tells the children that they need to drink far more than to be convincing. So yeah, Skinner's gonna be supplying alcohol to the kids. So whenever you do that, and you unlock P.I. Wiggum's car, which is here. I know it doesn't look anything too different for something we've got before, but I think it's nice to get cars, more and more cars in the game, and they often don't add cars. So yeah, I don't know. I just figured it'd be cool to get it. Wiggum and Skinner decide on where to call home, but apartments, mansions, they're also boring, and they don't fit their PI status. They're a poor, they're a pair of rough and ready PIs. Of course, they'd be in a boat. So you do your tasks and you unlock the big queasy here, and this will be a building, not a decoration, seeing as it's a houseboat. And obviously it will be placed on the water as well, maybe also rivers. I think I would like it if they were a bit more free with some of their ocean stuff and let you put some of it on the rivers as well. And then Wiggum is approached by Homer, who has a job for him. His lobster Pinchy has gone missing and he needs the two PIs to find him. Wiggum tracks the lobster to Tipitina's, where the music lovers are dining on lobster. So, yeah, Wiggum's doing his investigation, and you unlock the Tipitinas, obviously, after you do your tasks and stuff, and in your currency. And then Wiggum promises Homer that he will find who did this to his lobster, and will get revenge, as he is now PIG. I mean, PI Wiggum. Ralph, don't change the door. I'm getting confused. So, yeah, you do your tasks, and eventually you unlock the costume for Wiggum, which is obviously PI Wiggum. So, yeah. Pretty cool costume. So first act is just costumes, but I think it's necessary to get these two just because they're part of the spin-off. It's cool. It'd be cool to actually get them. So yeah, and then in the store for Act 2 is Chez Paz with the Cajun Chef. Now the Cajun Chef is actually based off. They never directly say, "Oh, this is this person," but there's actually like some famous Cajun chef. I think he literally is just like. He's known as the Cajun Chef, I think, as well. Even though, obviously, that's not... that name, I don't know. Maybe that... maybe they just call him the Lobster Chef. I know it's not a very technical term. But, yeah, Cajun Chef, he's got, like, a name. New Orleans, like, he's really famous. John Wilson, is that him? I think that might be him. Yeah, so he's, like, a really famous sort of, chef, and it's obviously his likeness that they've captured here, but they never directly say him by name. And again, I will bring it up, if Paul Flock can somehow pass, this can pass. So yeah, I don't know, I think they could make something work and just add him on his own. And you get Chez Paz as well as a building, and I'm not sure if it is called Chez Paz because that's all you can really say, but whatever. Wiggum asks Bleeding Gums, who supplied the lobster, and leads Wiggum to the Cajun Chef. Wiggum asks the man, why did he do this, but the chef tells him that he got that particular lobster from his daddy. Wiggum is trying to figure out who this may be with Skinner when an alligator attacks him. So you do all your tasks and you unlock the alligator. Now, I think I want this to be a decoration, but it will have an animation with Skinny Boy Skinner. And the only reason why is because I have an NPC here. I probably would make this an NPC, but having two NPCs in the price track is just a bit much. So I'm probably going to go with decoration, just for now, just to be sort of more realistic, but I would like it to be an actual NPC. Wiggum fights off the alligator with Skinner's help, but that's soon followed by a goon who tells them to stop their investigation or die. And then he's like attacking the men, and Wiggum's like, well, why are you attacking us then? You've just threatened us. And anyway, you do all your tasks and you unlock Big Daddy's goon. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to get a few more goons, a few more sort of, no-named NPCs who just walk around. So, and you could tap him and maybe he, like, pulls out his little knife, So, yeah, I don't see why not. The two men ask the Cajun Chef what is Big Daddy's plans, why is he stealing lobsters. The chef tells him there is a lobster apocalypse coming where he will control full supply of the world's lobsters, meaning he will hike up the price. The three men and Homer vow to stop this from happening. So, you do all your tasks and you unlock an airboat here. And then finally the men find Big Daddy at his home, but he tells the men that they can't stop him as he has kept the lobsters at a secure location. Homer vows for revenge against the man, but more goons are sent in to capture them. And you unlock Big Daddy's home, which is an awesome-ass building. I actually think this would be... Yeah, I really want this building so much. It would be really, really cool. I think they would have to add it... I think you'd have to do it as like a lake building, I think. Or you could do it as ocean and lake. They have to give that option though, because technically I think it's on a lake, right? I think I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, Big Daddy tells the men they're never going to stop him, and they're all going to die, screaming. He laughs and laughs, but then John enters, telling Wiggum and Skinner that this spin-off is not working for us. The fans of the game are really complaining that it's cheap. It's the same as normal events, just with less Simpsons in the quest line. John tells them that they're cancelled. They're going with something else instead. So you do all your tasks, you know, the underwhelming finale. I think it could be kind of funny. And then you unlock Big Daddy as a full playable character. Act 2 is Bessie with video matchmaking for 150 donuts. So, yeah, obviously this is the character in the second segment, the Mo love tester segment. So, let's get into it. So, John now gives the reign of the game to Mo. Everyone likes Mo, after all. And if they want to keep the game going, they have to go with a popular character. Mo is excited and accepts the responsibility. So, you unlock the golden remote, which is seen here. A solid gold remote, or whatever it is. Solid gold remote, yeah. Which isn't in the segment. It's actually in the Troy McClaw's bit, but I wanted to throw it in somewhere because it's kind of cool. Mo wants to get back with Betty. Who is Betty? Pretty generic character, to be honest, but we're saving Maya for another update. Mo tries to woo Betty with some smooth music, so you unlock Mo's jukebox. It's all going well, and Bessie accepts a date with Mo, that should be. They head to a restaurant, but Lisa is there, making a scene about them eating not ethically killed meat. Mo tells Lisa to back off. This is his game now. So you unlock Le Snottery, yeah. Yeah, very nice building. It actually does appear in the segment. It's like the only time that building appears, so it's kind of exclusive to that segment, so that'd be cool. Despite Lisa messing with his date, Betty and Mo hit it off, and she asks to go back to his place. Ooh. They walk back home, and Bart is there, causing havoc by skating around. Mo again tells him to back off. So you unlock Mo's apartments. So obviously not in the segment, but I think it was a sneaky way to get in Mo's apartment into the game, because obviously we got Mo's house, but he did, like, in some appearances he lives in this apartment building, so I think that's a sneaky way to kind of get that into the game. And Mo and Betty are at his, and he comments that finally the two of them can be alone, but Mo hears Grandpa saying some unsavory things. Mo tells Grandpa to show himself, and he does. He's the love tester machine now, and he tells Betty that Mo is going to be like a really crappy boyfriend, and she leaves. Mo goes to attack Grandpa before John shows up saying, no, this isn't working. Grandpa should have been introduced way earlier on. These spin-offs are just not getting the downloads that they need. It seems that the Simpsons are all that people want. So you do all your tasks, and you want, and Grandpa can actually be like, wait, I'm a Simpson though. And he's like, you don't count. But you unlock the love tester costume for Grandpa. Now, you might be thinking, how the hell is this going to work? And you're right. Maybe this is a bit too ambitious as a costume for Grandpa. But basically, what I want, and also, yes, I know the love tester's already been added. I want this to be a costume, a separate costume for Grandpa. But I think what it could be like is either A, it's like down on like, like with Iron Lung, the costume for Mole Man, where he's like on a sort of table and he's getting wheeled around. I think that's one option. Or the second option is like in this scene where Mo's kind of wheeling him inside. I think just have him sort of wheel, like this, but on his own. And yeah, will it look a bit silly? Maybe a little bit silly because he's like a machine wheeling on his own. But how cool and crazy would this be as a costume for Grandpa? I think this would be like the most insane costume ever. And so it's probably wishful thinking and it's not going to happen, but I think this should be added as a costume. Anyway, Act 4. So for Act 4, we got the new Awareness Awards with War Veteran Graining. So yeah, this is a different version of Matt Groening in the show, and I do realise that we do already have Matt Groening in the game, but this is like a different one. It's War Veteran Groening. He's a little more grizzled, and I've always preferred this look of him, like not the actual just Matt Groening put in the show. Like they actually took his likeness and put him in the show. I prefer this one because it makes him look more mysterious. Like, I remember when I first watched the episode where he appeared, I'd never seen a picture of Matt Groening before. So when they told me this is Matt Groening, I thought, oh, Matt Groening has an eye patch on. So yeah, I don't know. I think I really like this version of him. And if you're asking me, wait, so should this be a costume or a character? I think it should be a separate character, only because A, it looks completely different to Matt Groening anyway, the normal one. So it's not like a doppelganger. And B, It'd be weird as a costume, adding a costume for Matt Groening, you know, a character that isn't really that involved in the game anyway. So I think just add it as a separate character. And yeah, it will come with a new awareness award, which is obviously right here. A pretty cool building. So the game is back, and John gives it to veteran Groening, who is the true Skyfinger to the Skyfinger is revealed. Or is the Skyfinger just telling you that? Who knows? Groening tells the Simpsons that he's splitting them up to start with. Homer will be super premium, costing $99 now. So obviously this won't happen. It's just all jokes, but you unlock the caviar truck because obviously Homer's like, oh, I'm going to be rich. Marge asks Mr. Groening to go her own way. And that way she can attract some of the smutty players to the game with her, you know, sexy dance moves and all that. And he agrees, and you unlock the Just Marge sign, which is right there. Just Marge and Friend sign. But Just Marge sign, we'll call it. It's just a big sign, really. Nothing too special. Bart demands the cash in the game, so he should be abolished. If these players want anything in the game, then they should have to pay big bucks for it. And you know, veteran Groening is like, yes, I agree. So you unlock the IRS mower, which is right here. I don't know if you'd have the guy on it. Probably not, just on its own. Homer doesn't think the Simpsons house should be the same anymore and proposes that the first building in the game that players unlock should be bigger. Grandiose! Lisa disagrees with everything the family is doing. You're extorting the players, stealing their money. But Homer just groans about the hackers. So you do all your tasks and you unlock the Homer Time house, which is right here. Very, very cool. With obviously the gate as well. Lisa keeps whining, and thus she is kicked out of the game. Homer tells the players to delete Lisa. Delete her! You can no longer have her anymore. You can have this new one instead. So you do all your tasks and you unlock new Lisa Simpson as a playable character. Yeah, I think this approach was a little bit, the meta approach was a kind of in a more interesting way to approach all of these sort of new things, just because they're so out there and so outlandish. I couldn't think of like a quest line that really, sorry about that. I couldn't think of a quest line that really like fitted with all these kind of different segments. So going the meta route was like my only choice, to be honest. So yeah. And then the epilogue here is the family bicker and fight some more, but decide, let's just go back to how the game was. Sure, it isn't perfect, but it's got fans still, and it has been going for over 10 years now, and that's the end of the event. So yeah, let's get into some tasks and animations. So for John, we got present TV trends. This will just be him with a little board, obviously, maybe like a little graph and a pie chart or something like that. He's like giving a presentation. Rewatch the classics for 4 hours. That will just be at the Brown House. Develop a new show for 8 hours. That could be like Channel 6, any sort of studio. Break the game for 12 hours. So yeah, this is going to be like a little thing. He's like tapping on like the golden remote maybe, or he's tapping on his own little golden remote, and he sort of little cloud will you know, sort of show up above his head, and it will start raining donuts on him. Now obviously you don't get donuts from this, but actually no, maybe you could. That could make John a very unique character despite being so obscure and random. That could be kind of funny actually. If like, you know, you got God, Yahweh, and this guy. Well, actually, no, God doesn't even own donuts, does he? It's Yahweh who does. Yahweh and, yeah, I think it's just Yahweh is the only character who owns donuts. No, it probably would just be normal, to be fair. And then educate the youth about TV for 24 hours. That could be at the school, probably. For Skinny Boy Skinner, we get the scoop on the street. So, basically, this little NPC dude here will spawn, and Skinner will, you know, be talking with him, you know, getting, like, maybe they're passing folders, passing cash, who knows. Clean up Wiggum's mistakes for 4 hours. That will be at his little PI office. Fill in all the paperwork for 8 hours. Again, the PI office. Fight alligator. So yeah, this will be involved with the alligator decoration, where he'll be basically fighting the alligator like he does in the episode. I think this way, again, like I said, it could be an NPC, but I think this way, it obviously because there's 2 NPCs, that would mean that there's 2 NPCs in that prize trap, but I don't know, I think this could be like so cool, seeing Skinner fight an alligator. And spy on perps for 24 hours, that will just be the Brown House probably. For P.I. Wiggum, we have get attacked by seafood for 60 minutes. Pretty self-explanatory. He's, you know, he could be at a table maybe, or maybe a bench, I don't know. Or maybe outside a building, but, you know, he's eating seafood or whatever, and he's on a table eating some food, and there's obviously a lobster in it. It attacks him like it does in this picture. That's why I picked this picture. Track down Big Daddy for 4 hours. That will be, I mean, it could be his office or it could be Big Daddy's house. Defend his home for 8 hours. That's at the Queasy, the big Queasy. Drive his car, acting cool. So yeah, I wanted to have an animation with the car to kind of justify actually adding it. So he'll just be like driving around with sunglasses, just like other characters who drive cars, such as Ian with his little tiny car. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a character that's like really funny and really interesting, the P.I. Wiggum, but I think in terms of animations, I couldn't think of anything too crazy. I figured we could have one with him, like, you know, indiscriminately shooting, but it's kind of boring, you know, having just a character just shooting randomly. So I figured, yeah, why not have one of him driving his car? At least that's kind of a bit more visual and kind of add something to your town. And then go undercover for 24 hours. That will be at his PI office. If you don't own it, probably just the Big Queasy. And then for the Cajun chef, we have serve a batch of shellfish for 60 minutes. Pretty self-explanatory. He's just going to be riding around the town with some shellfish, and then he's going to be like, you know, swaying it from left to right, kind of showing it off, and maybe he's, you know, does like a little chef kiss. Buy a new scooter for 4 hours. That will be probably mall maybe, or it could be just any other random building. Doesn't matter too much. Deal with buffet enthusiasts. That will be at Chez Pas. Obviously, he's going to have an issue with the buffets because people are the all-you-can-eat. People are eating more than they should eat. And then be the seafood mob boss. So this will be him. He'll have like a little hat on maybe or something, like a little lobster hat or something like that. And he's got like a shotgun and he's defending like a big batch of lobsters, you know. He wants to be the seafood mob boss. And then run the restaurant for 24 hours. That will be at Chez Pas. For Big Daddy, we have Kidnap Ralph. So this is just going to be him running around the town with Ralph on his shoulders. I think it's just kind of a funny visual, this like sort of big intimidating mob boss, but he can like barely run away from Wiggum with Ralph on his shoulders. It's kind of a funny visual, so yeah, I think that could be cool. Hire new goons for 4 hours, that'll be his home. Run his city for 8 hours, again at his home. Try get back home for 12 hours. So basically, this will be like, essentially, he will be kind of in the water by his house, trying to like jump up on the port, but then just falling in constantly. And that's kind of the animation I'm looking for there. I don't know, I think that could be kind of funny. And then do shady deals for that should be 24 hours. Do shady deals for 24 hours. That will be probably, again, its home. For Betty, we have date Mo for 6 minutes. Pretty simple one. Just her and Mo walking around Springfield in each other's arms. Maybe she can be like complaining at something and Mo's like, you know, tugging on his shirt kind of thing. Dump Mo again for 4 hours. Yeah, that'll be at Mo, probably at Mo's with Mo. Work on a career for 8 hours. Anywhere. Maybe actually that could be at the dating place, the matchmaking, video matchmaking. Maybe that is her career. She's like, I'm going to help other desperate single people get, you know, I'm going to focus on my career by helping other desperate single people getting relationships. And then record her dating video. That will just be outside the video matchmaking. You know, she's going to have like an old-timey little tape recorder, and she's there sort of, you know, just talking into it. Maybe the thing get kind of like the VHS gets ejected and like the tape in it kind of gets all winds or something. That could be interesting, just to make it a bit more visual. And then try dating apps instead for 24 hours. That will probably be at the building she comes with. I know that like the issue with this character is she's so generic. Like she is just generic Mo love interest. It's hard not to do something that is related to her dating men. I know it's like a bit, you know, a bit boring, but I don't want to go out there and say like she's a neurosurgeon or something, you know. So I've just gone with this. And then for Love Tester Grandpa, we got give a reading for 60 minutes. So pretty much like the reading just kind of keeps going up and down and gives you like a different reading each time on the Love Tester machine. Steal coins for 4 hours. That will be yeah, that could be. Well, I don't know. Actually, that could just be the Mo's, to be honest. Sabotage Bachelor's Dreams for 8 hours. Again, that could just be Mo's. Try to escape the machine. So this will be like Grandpa's sort of ghost or soul is kind of like emerging from the machine, like almost climbing out of the top of it, and then it just gets like sucked back in, and it will just be like that repeated. And then get beaten up by teens for 24 hours. I think that could actually be at Le Snotteries, to be fair, just because that way there's a task in that building. For War Veteran Matt Groening, or War Veteran Groening, we have Present Awards. This will be outside the New Awareness Awards, pretty much just presenting an award, be like, to you, you know. Get his check from the government for 4 hours, that will be at the Town Hall. Prepare for cancellation for 8 hours, that will be at the Town Hall. That's like, The Simpsons is getting cancelled, he's like, we're going to war. And then defend The Simpsons to his dying breath. So this will be outside the Simpsons house, and he will have like a sort of mini turret in his hands or something, you know. He's there like flying the Simpsons flag, you know. He's like, I will fight to my death. This game and this show is never getting cancelled. And then go to war online with haters for 24 hours. That will be probably the Brown House. Yeah, I know it's a weird focus, but I think that could be kind of funny. Like the biggest fan of the Simpsons is the creator himself, but the War Veteran version. And then for Fake Lisa, oh man, I find this character like actually so boring, you know. I didn't know what to do, so I just went with stuff from the show. So change Lisa's characterization for 60 minutes. This will just be her, you know, basically cheerleading like she did in the episode with the pom-poms, you know, kind of going, you know, go Lisa, you know. Change up her room for 4 hours. That'll be the Simpsons house. Be the most popular girl in school. Be the most popular person or girl in school for 8 hours. That will be at the elementary, obviously. Dress up for the fans for 12 hours. So this will be her dressed as a beaver walking around. I don't really know what to do with it, like. Yeah. She could have an animation with Lisa, but I suppose as well. And then remove evidence of the other Lisa for 24 hours. So yeah. So that is my little spin-off showcase event. Let me know your thoughts. I don't know. I think there's definitely potential for this one to be a major event. Let me know if there's like another sort of something else I could have brought in to make, you know, 4 segments instead of splitting one into 2. I just couldn't find anything. I swear that like I looked at like different like kind of clip shows and stuff, but there's just nothing that with sort of substance, and that's part of the issue. So I ended up having to make obviously the 2-parter of the P.I. Wiggum one, which did kind of stretch out, like the New Orleans sign being a prize is kind of crappy, but yeah, let me know your thoughts on it. I do think there's definitely potential for it, like I said, and there's some fun characters in here. Like I do think these costumes for Wiggum and Skinner could be like really cool, and like Big Daddy and Big Daddy's like compound or house would definitely be awesome to get. Although probably more realistically that would be the premium instead of the Cajun chef, but maybe I just want to be nice to people. Obviously Betty's a bit boring, but it would be cool to kind of get the Love Tester Machine as a character, as a costume. And War Veteran Groening I do think is just hilarious. I don't think he's actually in this segment. I think he's in like a clip show, but I got him from the clip show because it's like, again with this one there was no other characters in this sort of one, so I got him from a different thing. I think he was from like a clip show, yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts on this event, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.